Hello, my beautiful earth angels. My name is Joanna. I go by Joanna the Healer, used to be Joanna the Medium. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much. I hope you stay. If you are returning, welcome back. I can't wait every time to see you. This is a weekly pulse message that will cover the week of 23rd and beyond. Of course, time cannot be encapsulated in a box in terms of 7 days. So this information, even though is titled week of March 23rd, it will go on a little bit longer. And I feel like I am meant to say, thank you. I am meant to say my intention. For those of you who are new, I am getting into a habit of stating intention every time I do this work, and that is because it helps me focus on what's important and to stay aligned. And it's also telling you what it is that I offer. So if I do not offer what you had in mind, then you may not get anything from this message. On the other hand, if your intention is to, so it's nice, so you stating intention is important in terms of you listening, but your intention might be, I am open to whatever wants to come to me, and you will know when it's meant to come to you, when it resonates with you, or you get a punch buck. It's like something pushes you. So let's say I say something and you get an ab reaction. So it's when you react emotionally to something. That's your key. All right. So with having said all that, there is a really interesting energy that I feel with me. And despite of what's happening right now, it's in front of everyone's face to one degree or another. I can't help but feel this excitement bubbling underneath this layer of stuff that we are going through. And the energy is about new creation, birth of something new. I feel I will talk predominantly about Gaia and why this is transpiring and what we can do to help whatever is going on. Because if you are here listening to me, you are here to help Mother Gaia. And with that said, I want to say one more thing. It's like I know I'm supposed to say something, but I don't know what wants to come through me. The sun always eventually rise. In other words, it's never dark forever. This dark period is indicative of change. And darkness does not mean bad. It does not mean evil. It does not mean any of those sinister, fear-based things. It simply implies we are in a space where we are not able to see, and because of that, our fears, our internal programming that is based in lack and scarcity is going to come up, and it is coming up. And the reason for that is because it is the Earth's population status quo. In other words, that's where humanity is rooted at this time. And the purpose of this ascension, using that word, is to uproot the current belief or the current paradigm. That's why we're going through a paradigm shift. And we're going through this because we have to. We have no other choice, because it's part of evolution. Nothing in the universe, in existence, ever stays still. So the excitement that is contained within me is the excitement that I feel that is connected to something beyond what we can see. And that is that once we get through the layer of this muck, which has a lot of unpleasantness with it, we will reveal, or it will be revealed to us, why we're going through it in the first place. But we first have to get through it. And it may feel very much like we're in the dark, because most of us, like everyone in a human form, has not experienced this before. Not in our lifetime, not the ones before our lifetimes. This has not transpired in many years. And Gaia's, or Earth's, positioning right now in terms of the whole universe is changing. And what I'm saying right now as Joanna, I have no idea about. So I do not know if it's true. If some of you have heard this before, please comment, because it'll give me a good confirmation. So because Earth's position in the atmosphere is changing, it is natural only that the shifts of such change would have a ripple effect on the planet itself. And what I'm being shown is the connection to Earth's temperature and how it is changing. And it is because of the Earth's positioning in the universe. So for those of you who are planetary gurus, let me know, because that's interesting for me, Joanna. So why am I talking about this? Because the purpose of what's happening is to help Gaia's ascension. It's to help the shift. Most humans know that Earth is referred to as a she, which is a motherly giving energy. And from a certain perspective, she has given a lot and has given too much, to the point where she began to feel very depleted. So she's in a process of rebalancing herself in order to return to her organic state. What is organic state? Back to balance. So as she is rebalancing, so are we, because we are part of her, and we are part of her consciousness, and she is part of our consciousness. So by her rising, we go through it with her, and as such, we are rising ourselves. And our job right now is to assist her. So if you are listening to this, you are an earth angel, a light worker, a light bearer, a light shower, someone who has a deeper connection to earth and other awarenesses than just the 3D physical aspect. And you are here listening to this primarily because you want to know what's going on, but also because your soul wants to be reminded of what it is that you may need to focus on right now. And in time of chaos, and as chaos implies things are out of order, it is much more difficult to find a space of stillness. But it is in that state of chaos that stillness brings the answers we are seeking for. So how you can help yourself, which in turn you help Mother Gaia, is you can help first by creating a space and time in your own environment, in your own being, when you can become still and become more attuned into your inner voice. You can call it your spirit, you can call it your soul, you can call it whatever you wish or like. The point is to make a space and to make that happen. And what you will observe is that the circumstances with which we are surrounded are actually contributing to us being able to create more of that space. We are being asked to stay at home. We are being asked to not go out as much, and therefore creating opportunity for us where we could begin to do these things. When we are busy and running around and being full of responsibilities, we don't have time to look after ourselves. This is a time where the conditions are favorable, where looking after yourself is priority number one. Why? Because you are the reason why you are here. You exist because of you. You don't exist because of your job, because of your family, because of your kids, because of your important things to do. No, you exist because of you. So it is important to know you. So this is a time where we can all get to know ourselves better. When we get to know ourselves better, we begin to realize that there is more to us, what we can see and what we can feel. And though most people are aware of that, they're missing the connection. They're missing the link that separates the knowing from the being. And in this time of severe conditions, because these are severe conditions, they're way out of norm, way out of whack. In these conditions, it is doubly, triply, quadruply important to carve out time for you and find some stillness. Remember, in chaos, it's hard to get into stillness, but it's in the stillness that you will find your answers or key to your chaos. So, what is it that we may want to be mindful of? First and foremost, try your best not to focus on what's happening in terms of scarcity. Do not be ignorant to it. Be mindful of it. And find a way to walk a middle path, meaning don't focus on the bad only. Shift your attention to what this situation can do in terms of providing new opportunities or starting something new or starting something fresh. In other words, look at the chaos as an opportunity to start something different. When I was meditating earlier, before this video, I very strongly felt presence of Kali. Goddess Kali, for those of you who know who she is, you'll know, but I'm just going to look at the spelling, so some of you can look it up. It is Goddess Kali. The spelling is Kali. And it is in most cases believed a depiction of a feminine destructive energy. And she is like a mother who is sick and tired of being taken advantage of. And it's not that she's furious, but she is ready to let go of what no longer serves her. And that trickles to every single one of us. So anything that no longer serves you as the listener, as the viewer, is you have the opportunity to look at that right now and find an alternate solution or to try something different in whatever situation. Because this time, more than any time in life, and certainly in our lives, we will not see this energy again. Although the energy is very destructive, after each distraction, you know what I mean? There is a new. So once after each ending, there's always a new beginning. That's just the way it goes. It's that there is no stop. So these conditions will pass and it will reveal the new. And your job right now, if you will, is to understand that. Understand the responsibility you have is to yourself, because everything happens through you. And when each person remembers that, and when each person looks within themselves, and when each person finds a new way to do things that are more based or less based in fear, then each and every individual will begin to shift his vibration, his or her vibration. That individual multiplied billions of times or millions of billions of times is what shifts Gaia's frequency, or helps shift Gaia's frequency. But it is up to each and every individual to accept that, because you don't have to. There's this thing called free will. So for the next little while, as difficult as it may be to not focus on what's going on, remember, it's not about being ignorant. It's about not focusing most of your attention on something that is causing you to have fear. It's not discounting that it doesn't exist. No, it's not that. Nor is it running away. So it's neither one of two extremes. Find that middle ground. What does, there was something I was looking at yesterday. It came through. There's an important statement that came through. I missed it. The point I'm trying to make is this is a time where everything is rebalancing or trying to rebalance. If there is something out of balance in your life, this will be the time where it will show up in your life. And your responsibility is to ask yourself this question: is this what I'm here to resolve? And listen to what your intuition says. If the answer is yes, because it will be yes, otherwise you wouldn't be faced with it, then find a way to deal with it, or by dealing with it, find a way to do something new. It's like we are being replanted. I saw an image of a tree being taken away and put into a different environment. And when that tree is uprooted, and that's obviously a metaphor, when that tree is uprooted, through the uprooting process, the roots get they get bruised a little bit and scraped, and some pieces are broken off. And those pieces that are broken off go back to be transformed into a different energy. But the tree is transplanted and put in new soil, and that soil is richer and therefore much more sustainable to the tree, or the tree, it'll help its stability. It's got more nutrients. You get the picture. And we are in the process of being replanted, many of us. Now, some of you can stay in the old soil. You can do that. You can resist. All that means is that you're going to be in that old soil, and that soil isn't getting any better, meaning foundation, right? So it is up to you to decide if you'd rather go through the discomfort of being uprooted because you know you're going to a better place, or are you going to cling on to something that is outlived, or you have outlived, with the understanding that it's hard to let go of something that is known. Patterns, practices, behaviors, the way we feel about ourselves. If you've had emotional ups and downs, know that it's because the change is happening within you. Things are being reshuffled. I put a few cards just to see, and mostly for pictures. And I said, show me. And look at this vision here and see what you see. To me, these are, I almost want to say, invisible hands from a higher mind, a higher consciousness. And we are being helped. And we are being helped in a way that we may not see. And the reason why is because we are asleep. So even though if you are listening, you are somewhat aware. Me, as aware as I am, there is a part of me, a big part of me that's still asleep, because in a human form, I cannot have that awareness 100%. I feel that electrically speaking, because it's all vibration, it would blow up my body, my physical body, because it is vibration, right? So I will never, in a physical body, be able to fully embody the highest frequencies. It's just not. However, with each awareness, we get closer to that. And this is one of those times. So we are absolutely being helped. Many of us, I'm hearing, are being saved without even knowing it. So if you've had any cancellations, trips, and many of you had, then in many cases, it is to prevent you from something. And of course, that would be, getting yourself into a situation that might not be favored by you. But we don't know these things. All we do is sometimes we get ticked off that something was canceled. And we get annoyed because we don't get to do what we want to do. And I briefly had that, and then I realized, no, everything happens for a reason. The point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of us, thank you, us, those we can't see with physical eyes out there helping us. Many of you are reaching higher dimensions through your dreams. Some of you are conscious of it and aware, some of you are not. And during sleep, many of you may have the awareness that you're being helped or you're being worked on somehow. So some of you may have a car that is being worked on, and car may represent your physical vehicle in this body. So if you have dreams, interesting, thank you, about cars being repaired, then that physical or etheric condition of your body is being worked on while you sleep. I'm not even going to go into all the different collectives, but Arcturian and Pleiadians come as two that are the closest. So we are absolutely being helped. Whether you believe it or not, whether you know it, it's really irrelevant. They're not upset with the fact that many people don't believe it. As long as you're open to it, but you're not quite sure, you've opened the door for them to help you. So there is absolutely help. We are being birthed. This is how I see it. We are being birthed. And the way this card appeared to me, and there's no, there's no upright or not. That's not how these work. But every time it lands a certain way, I feel it out and I see if that's the message. So the message here is, just like you cannot stop birth from happening, resisting what is will not help. And I think we all know that. It's easier said than done to go with the flow. But the universe is paving a way for us to follow if we are willing to follow. And that willingness to follow means it will feel like we're the trees being uprooted to a different soil, to different conditions. And interesting. Conditions where life is much more sustainable. Much more sustainable. I'm going to let you percolate on that. Ultimately, this affords us the ability to focus on something that's important for us. If you have been laid off from work, know that this is an opportunity for you to try something new or try something different. It is not a pleasant experience. I, Joanna, have gone through that 4 or 5 years ago. Even though it was not a surprise to me, it messed with my stability. Took it right out in terms of finances. And it was necessary because I wouldn't listen. So This is happening now in much greater numbers with all of us in certain aspects of our lives, and for some of you in every aspect of your life. Know that it is this is allowing you or affording you or ushering a new way of doing things. All you have to do is step through that door. It's like an old car being reconditioned, and I'm not calling you old, by the way. In order to reveal the new, it has to go through some scrapes and bruises, and some things have to be, banged on and repaired. And then finally the new finish coat goes on, and then once it dries, the new is revealed. So the process in between the old and the new, well, can be messy. So have faith in knowing that everything is as planned. Now, that does not mean that there is something out there that's pulling us like a doll on strings. No, we collectively have chosen to experience this in order to help our own evolution and in order to help Mother Gaia through her own evolution and her journey. So know that you will be safe. Those of us on Earth who chose the experience of transitioning to the other side are taking the opportunity to do just that through these sets of conditions. So although it is always, always sad for the human to lose a loved one, know that your loved one chose to participate in this particular way. Okay? The best defense is awareness. I thought that was interesting. I thought about it and I went, yeah, that makes sense. When we are more aware, we can see wider. We can see more clearly. We can be in conditions surrounded by fear, but by being more aware or more aware. And when we're able to look from a different perspective, we may experience the fear, but we will not let the fear take over. So we are still in the relationship of what's going on. We are still relating with the world, with what's going on, but we are not letting that define us. And that takes a lot of practice. It is not about aiming at perfection. It is about aiming at knowing the truth. And the truth is that you are a soul. You are here simply to love, to know what it feels like to give, to know what it feels like to receive, to know what it feels like to express it in different ways and forms. That's why you are here. This is part of your expression. This is what you chose. Do the best you can. Try not to blame anyone, including yourself. This is an opportunity to try something different and try something new, the process of which requires change. Change, particularly big change, is rarely comfortable. It's usually uncomfortable at best. So have faith in knowing that you are okay. This too shall pass, and the new will be revealed. Until then, know that there is help out there for you. All you have to do is take a moment, invite it in, and listen. And with that said, I want to say thank you. If you would like to comment, please do. I love your comments. I had to rev up my healing sessions. I was advised to offer more of healing sessions. So if you would like the healing session with me, that information is down below. And you will be seeing me soon. By the way, the April videos for month of April for Zodiac sign with a different format will be coming up in April, so probably late March. So just FYI for those of you who are wondering if I stopped doing those, no, but they are changing like everything else is. And with that said, I wish you a fantastic week of March 23rd, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.